Let's get going here. Let me introduce our panel to you. Well, first off, I'm John Veray. I'm the regional director of the Southeast operations for Matrix. I've been here 27 years. My first day at work, I did take the training wheels off my tricycle. So, but God, I feel old. When I say 27 years, I feel old. But anyways, it's great to be here. I love Matrix, love the people. I've got three great people with me here. So Megan Abstein is with us this morning. She's been at Matrix for 15 years, 18 years of recruiting experience. She's the manager of our professional development with a focus on our recruiting area at Matrix. Super passionate about the use of video. It only took her 2 years for us to start to use it. It took us having a pandemic for us to really start using video. Kind of a sad state of affairs there, but we've adopted it, and it's just been terrific to use. So let's see. Megan lives in Jacksonville, Florida. How many shark teeth do you have?
A lot, millions.
A million. She collects shark teeth on the beach. Over a million. I constantly tell her, I think you're not working hard enough. If you've got a million shark teeth, how much time are you on the beach? So, but welcome, FSU grad, go Knowles, Megan Abstein. Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks, David.
Next up is Elizabeth Varenti. She's our Vice President of Professional Development here, focuses a lot on the business development side of our house. Elizabeth is probably our very first remote worker. So I don't know how many different positions you've had. You've been in recruiting, you've been in sales, you've focused on perm placement, contract placement, on and on, job share teammate, and now you're Vice President of Professional Development. But she moved. She used to live here in Atlanta and moved many years ago. Probably how many years? 15?
14.
14 years ago, moved to Rochester, New York. So Elizabeth's sitting in Rochester, New York. So no stranger to this virtual world, right? So very passionate about, you probably use the video as much as anybody in the company. So I'm so glad to have you with us. Yeah. You went to, will you say this when you say SUNY? Do you say State Institute of New York? Is that really what you?
We just call it SUNY.
You just call it SUNY? SUNY at
SUNY
Geneseo?
You got it. Nailed it.
Yeah. So bachelor's from SUNY at Geneseo. And what are you? You're a Buffalo Bills fan, right?
Yep. We're hanging in there.
Yeah.
It's going to be our year.
And you drafted Jake Fromm from UGA. That's a little interesting.
We did.
There.
Yeah.
The last thing, over the weekend, did you have to shovel your sidewalk?
We had some snow. Quite a heavy little blizzard. Yeah. Pretty sad.
Yeah, that is kind of sad. So I'll stay here in Atlanta. Okay, and then last but not least, we have Kyle Rampey from our Dallas, Texas office. So we're all over the place. We're coming from Atlanta, Dallas, Rochester, New York, and Jacksonville, Florida. So Dallas, Texas, been in staffing for 11 years, 8 years with Matrix. For the last 3 years has been leading our recruiting organization in our Dallas and Fort Worth offices. Huge operation, our biggest operation in the company. And I asked Kyle, I said, is there anything you want me to share about you in the intro? And he gave me this great quote. And I made a deal with them. I said, okay, if I read this quote, then you've got to do something for me. So hold that thought. So here's this quote. It said, JV, video will be vital even after the pandemic winds down. So start exercising those muscles now. Think about it. The quicker you get your actual face in front of the hiring authority, the better chance you will have to land a formal interview. If your video content is engaging, you actually have the ability to kick off the interview process before it begins. Pretty good stuff So, so Kyle's going to get his haircut today after 2 months.
First time in over 2 months.
Pretty excited about that. He graduated from Hardin-Simmons in Abilene, Texas. But even though he went to Hardin-Simmons, he does a great imitation of the LSU head football coach, Coach O. And my dad is an LSU alum, so I love LSU. So would you give us just a little bit, maybe give us a Go Tigers or something?
Yeah, my brother-in-law is a big LSU fan, so he's indoctrinated me into the lore there. But Go Tigers! That's my Coach O reference.
Very nice, Coach O. Okay, all right. Well, here we go. Let's get into it. So in our workshop today, we're going to go counterclockwise on this little grouping of clouds. We're going to talk about the why, the what, the how, and the where and the when. So let me hop into why right now. I mean, the current job market, very, very challenging. We're at unemployment at 14.7%. The worst since the Great Depression. So it's more difficult than ever to be in the market, and it's hard to get noticed. But what we're talking about today can help. So here are some important stats. So 89% of employers said that they would watch a video resume if it were submitted to them. I mean, that's
huge.
That's jaw dropping.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is.
Yep.
Let me just blast through these. So LinkedIn reports that users spend 3 times more time watching videos than looking at static content. 72% of customers would rather learn about a product or service by way of video. I think I fall.
That's true. I was on a Home Depot app this last weekend looking at gas trimmers, and I was watching the video.
Yeah. I know I fall into that. Just a couple more. The average user spends 88% more time on a website, like you on the Home Depot website, with video. Here's one. By 2022, online videos will make up more than 82% of all consumer internet traffic. So in 5 years, from 2017 to 2022, it'll be 15 times higher. So it really is like a wave that's coming at us. So, and the last one here, viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video compared to just 10% reading it. So I do this, I've started, like we talked about, this pandemic has caused us all to work differently. And I've been using, so I lead in Matrix, I lead a group of salespeople and a recruiting team as well. So I use video a lot now, just in like our normal team meetings and follow-up messages. And people really, they like it. It's still somewhat new to them. And so again, this, when I saw the stat, I'm just like, wow, I think even when we go back to whatever normal is, I'm going to continue to use the video feature. So I like it so much. So hang on to these thoughts here. And so we can't be left behind. I mean, we have to be that poll that we took at the beginning, maybe not feeling so great about how you look. Hopefully you're gonna want to use this. And the more that you get into it, we'll get into this on the how and the where and the when, but really the more that you do it, like anything, practice, you get better at it and you're more comfortable with it. So that's the why. I don't know if Kyle, Elizabeth, Megan, anything else you would like to talk about on the why side of things?
Well, I just wanted to say, JB, I think now with many of us, most of us working from home, people crave that interaction with people, and we're not having that day to day like we're used to. And video sort of checks that box a little bit. And so when I got a video from you this morning, just kind of good morning, looking forward to our webinar, kind of like, hey, hit me up at the water fountain, let's chat, before we get to work. So I think it's really important to get very, very comfortable with this platform.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, let's get into the what. And Megan, do you wanna pick it up from here?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of go over the.
You want me to stop sharing and?
No, just wait just 1 second. I'll start sharing in just 1 second.
Okay.
So I was just going to go over a couple things that you can utilize from a video standpoint that makes it a little bit less daunting. Obviously, you need a computer or laptop with a camera. You can even use a smartphone. And there's several free apps out there that can be used on your smartphone, like record it and go record. Heck, you can use the recording function just on your camera. And from a PC standpoint, there's desktop applications. If you have access to Camtasia or Snagit, those both have recording capabilities. But I'm actually a big fan of the Chrome extensions. And the one that Matrix has really kind of taken hold of and has been using pretty regularly since this pandemic hit is Loom. And so I wanted to show you how that worked. And also now Loom is an app on your smartphone. So it can be used 2 different ways. So it's exciting stuff.
Also free, which is important to know.
Yes, free.
Right.
And well, when we get into it, I'm going to show you all kinds of videos. You know what, JB, I can't request.
I'm going to just stop sharing. How about that? Now,
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let me just bear with me.
One of the things I love about Loom, this Loom app, you can have it on your phone, you can have it on your laptop, you can get the Chrome extension from the Chrome Web Store, but you can record a video on the fly and then copy the link to the video anywhere. You can embed it anywhere. So
Yeah.
it's portable.
Okay. So, sorry guys, let me get this over just a minute. All right. Technical difficulties, bear with me. Okay, so I have, hopefully it'll work. There we go. All right, so this is what Loom looks like. It'll pop up on a Chrome page. It works on a Word document and some other non-Chrome things, but it will only, it won't show you or your picture or video. It will only record you talking. So you have a choice whether you want to.
Can I just say, just if people are somewhat new to Zoom, you can move, like right now, like where you are, like my screen of everyone on the call is sort of in the way of that. So I just want to tell people you can drag that around and move it so that you can see what Megan's talking about. Sorry.
Yeah, in fact, I'm trying to, it's telling me that my camera is off. So bear with me. So sorry, guys. Pretty much knew that we have some technical difficulties. Come on. Okay, so once you click on that you're ready to record, it's going to ask you to share a screen or an application window. And right here, it could be either a live, you actually talking, or it could be a static picture, whatever you're more comfortable with. And this can be moved. I don't know why the whole live isn't working, but I think the one thing I wanted to show you is this bubble can be moved, okay? And the picture can be changed and things like that. But you can actually talk to, your LinkedIn profile, create a video of you actually talking to your LinkedIn profile while you scroll through it. And sorry, I'm gonna get off of this, finish recording it. And once you're done actually doing the recording, it will bring you back to the Loom site and it will give you an opportunity to do a little bit of trimming if you wanted to. This is the free part. And you can simply copy the link and put it in on a resume. You could put it on your LinkedIn profile. You could put it in an email, and it can easily be renamed, like, basically by right-clicking on the link, you can rename it to whatever you want the hiring manager to see. But Loom is definitely our tool of choice. And I think we might skip around a little bit and come back to this because I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So, and I do have follow-up documentation on Loom that will, I mean, it's amazing.
The one thing, can I mention something real quick? The one really cool thing about this, guys, is that it actually makes your LinkedIn profile a living profile.
Mm-hmm.
You can put yourself over your static picture on LinkedIn and have a video of you talking about yourself and about your experience and how you look forward to speaking with a hiring manager or anyone who's a hiring authority. It really is kind of a game changer. It's a differentiator in today's market.
Yeah, I couldn't show
And
the
Megan,
video, but I could take a static picture of mine. And I added it
Megan,
to my signature.
Could you also record yourself talking with your resume in the background?
Yes, but you're not
Okay,
going
I was just
to.
curious.
Yes, but you're not going to be able to see your face. Just your voice. But I think the whole part of the video for me is being able to see your face. And, a plain video or a plain resume these days, they're boring. It's just like, yawn.
To be clear, you can only see your picture or video within Chrome.
Correct.
Not externally.
Correct. There are some times that you could drag like another screen. If you're working in multiple screens and you want to go from one to another, you can drag. But it really is the most user-friendly out of all of the Chrome applications or extensions that I've looked at.
So this could be good for, say, somebody like a UX designer that has a portfolio. They could put their video in an online portfolio and be talking over their portfolio, going to their work. Other examples of just online HTML compatible examples. You put a video on top of it.
Yep. Yes. And like I said, there's multiple platforms you could use. This one is just so easy, quick and easy. And that's why we're kind of sticking with it. I mean, JV recorded a 47-second little rah-rah for this morning for our meeting. And it was, you didn't even think twice about it. That's why I push it.
Yeah, it's so easy. Once you start doing it, it's just so easy, and it's so effective. Hey, there's a question here, Kyle. I don't know if you see in the chat. Says when we post it on LinkedIn, is it for everyone to see or just the recruiters?
That's a good question. Honestly, it's up to you. You can post it out there for really anyone to see. If you want to gear it more towards a particular hiring manager or hiring authority, that's fine. If you want to gear it more towards recruiters, if you're comfortable working with an external recruiter, either way is fine. It's really up to you. It depends on what your strategy is going into your job search. Either way is fine.
Yeah, I think that you could put it on your LinkedIn profile. You could put it on your resume. There's lots of different places that you could put it, but there's also lots of ways to use this.
And exactly, just like your resume, you can use different versions for different things. So you can have more of a kind of a vanilla version of yourself, just kind of giving your elevator pitch and profile. If you want to include that link there, you can do a video and include it. And we'll talk about this later in a thank you note to a hiring manager, which would be obviously a little bit different. So there's different functions for it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, so we're good with what? Should we? Anything else you wanna add in there, Megan?
I did just want to say I do have actually a short little video as well as step-by-step documentation how to use Loom that we will share after this seminar.
Yeah, I'll send that out to. We'll have just a follow-up packet. I'll get this recording link for everyone on the call, and then also just some other documentation on Loom and help with installing it and configuring it and everything. So very easy. If I always say, if I can do this stuff, anybody can do it. So anyways, all right. So here we go. On to the how. Elizabeth, would you like to step through the how?
Yeah, sure. So as we've gone to a remote sales organization, I've worked with a lot of our account executives on, recording these short introductory videos to be used in a sort of a selling sales type email introduction. And one of the things I've observed is when people are new to video, they think they have to be like super buttoned down. They have to put a suit on and they've got to be really formal and they've got to kind of script out everything they're saying and they want to read it. And it just comes across a little flat. And so I think the key is to just keep it, number one, short is super important. What do you guys think in terms of length?
No longer than a minute.
What would you say is the best practice?
No longer than a minute. My attention
Yeah,
span
I
is
think
gone.
If you think about it, I think on average, a hiring authority, they're looking at resumes. They maybe scan through it for about 20 seconds before interest.
Maybe 20 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's just on average. So with a video, you kind of have to think of it along the same lines.
Yeah, and I think
45.
Yeah, go ahead, JV.
Yeah, I think like 45 seconds to a minute in that range is okay. Over a minute, I think people are checking out on it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And I think the most compelling videos that I've seen are when people relax a little bit, and they're not so scripted and they're not reading. I mean, I think you need to clean yourself up. You don't want to be like, in a Budweiser t-shirt, but, a nice golf shirt or a nice blouse and just kind of that conversational feel. And the key is practicing. I think you were talking about that yesterday, Kyle. Send it to your recruiter, send it to one of us, send it to a friend. You're going to have to record it multiple times. Okay.
I did a marketing video for Matrix a couple of weeks ago, and it probably took me 10 takes. So it's going to take you some time to get used to yourself on camera. And you're probably going to have an outtake moment where you're going to curse at yourself. That's okay.
But you forget to stop the video while you're doing that. So the good thing about Loom is you can immediately delete and start over again. You get tongue-tied 2 seconds in, just stop and start all over again.
I think too, in terms of lighting, and ironically, I don't feel like I have the best lighting today, but natural lighting is best. Morning lighting or later afternoon lighting, I'm told, gives you the most natural look. You don't want that glare on your glasses or on your forehead. What else, guys? Anything else that you would add to that?
Well, you do want to make sure that the camera is positioned where it's, you're not like this to the camera.
Right.
Or it's not looking up your nose or,
Yeah, and I would say stand up when you record your video. I'm standing now. I feel like it gives me more energy. I feel like it makes me, more engaged feeling than if I'm sitting at my desk and sort of, leaning over. So
I think think about yourself in an interview. Obviously posture is important. You don't want to be hunched over and looking down the whole time. You want to make sure that you have a confident presence, and that's the same thing on video.
Agreed.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to do one more shout out to Loom. Is what's great about Loom is it's not just you. Right now, I'm seeing the four of us with this PowerPoint document next to us. And when you utilize Loom, you can be talking to something like this, so it's not so daunting and in your face. It's actually quite comfortable. So just one more shout out for Loom.
I guess the last thing I would say is, we're always our own worst critic. And if you, like I have not grown up in a Snapchat generation, so getting comfortable on video, it takes a little bit, but you're your own worst critic. You never look as bad as you think you do. So, and it's okay, I think, to infuse your video with a little bit of your personality, smile, be human. People want to make that human connection. And not just see you stand there, kind of stiff reading off a piece of paper.
Definitely. Yeah, that was consistent with, so this is the third kind of one of these workshops that we've done in the last month or so. So our first one was on resumes and just so many people in transition right now with unemployment being so high that trying to help people with their resume and then help people with their LinkedIn profile. And more and more emphasis on your LinkedIn profile is another big wave that's coming in, and we had a client on our panel for that one, and again, it's the world's a little less formal, to your point, Elizabeth. I mean, it's just and video and your LinkedIn profile and merging the two together, I think, is a nice opportunity for you to make an impression so much more than just like, you know, a piece of paper with, you know, your resume on it with an objective that says, you know, blah, 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 blah. So
remember back in the day when people would put, I mean, it's a long time ago, when you were riding your scooter to work, that people would put their photo on their resume, and we would be like, oh, and we would immediately take it off.
Okay. Yeah.
And now it's just like, you know what? Add your photo to your resume, because people are looking at it and going straight to your LinkedIn profile. So it's just, you have to be comfortable, you know, whether it's a static photo or a video, it's just very important. And we did get a question from Ramya as far as, okay, well, what do I need to put in my video? So maybe we can hit the next slide. There we go. Kyle, you want to take this?
Sure. Yeah. So like I said, there's many different forums and different audiences that you're going to be utilizing this platform for. And obviously, we've talked about the LinkedIn profile. You can make that a living profile, which I think is a differentiator right now. I was thinking this morning about LinkedIn itself, the platform. 10 years ago, it was a big time differentiator for candidates out on the job market. It was a big time differentiator for recruiters to go out and look for. Now it's kind of the norm. And I kind of see video being in that same light. Video right now is a differentiator, but I think in 5 years, it's going to be more of the norm. So start doing it now. Also, in your email, when you're applying for a position, sometimes with HR people, it may not be as impactful just because the sheer volume of applicants that they get, it may not be as impactful. They may not view it. But if you're reaching out directly to a hiring manager, so say you go out online and you view a position that you're interested in, whether it's on Indeed or Dice or Monster, and you know what company it's in, do some research, get on LinkedIn, see who a technical decision maker might be at that company, at that location. If it's in your market, reach out to them and say, hey, I viewed this position online. Here's a video of what I'm passionate about. Here's my tenure. Here's where I've been the last 6 or 7 years. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm looking to do moving forward. You can keep it in that minute time frame and include that link in your message to them or your connection request on LinkedIn to them. That's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Embed the link in your resume. We mentioned that. Do you guys want to mention something?
I was just going to say, I think that utilizing Loom, I know I'm just broken record, but you can actually record yourself talking to the opportunity that you see posted. Have that job description pulled up and, you know, checking those boxes. Again, 30 to 45 seconds is what you're really looking for when you're recording the video, and it should be specific to that job. You could even pull up the company website and record a video talking about what you like about that company. You know, I noticed that you have a work from home policy or whatever, and you can add things like that. And then just like Kyle just mentioned, if you find a hiring authority, find a commonality. I see you went to the University of Georgia, so did I, and include stuff like that, the personal stuff like that in the video, definitely when you're applying for a position.
Yeah, build that bridge, tell a story. I tell our recruiting staff all the time, we're not just listing skills to a hiring manager. We're telling a story as to why this candidate is a great fit for that job and really a great fit for that company. You're doing the same thing. When you're searching for a job, you're a salesperson, so you've got to tell a good story. And that's what it's all about. We talked about embedding a link into your resume. Obviously, that's going to be a little bit different than applying for a specific position or going to a specific contact. It's going to be a little bit more just general. If you're going to embed a link in your resume, just your basic elevator pitch.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a game changer too. In your email thank you note after a phone interview, many of you have probably sent a thank you note to a recruiter or a hiring manager, or for a recruiter to forward on to a hiring authority after your interview. including a link to your video saying, hey, I just want to thank you for spending time with me today. Here's why I think I'm a great fit for the position. I'm interested in joining your company, and this is why. I think that's extremely impactful. So
we're seeing a good bit of that, and we're really encouraging our candidates to do this right now, because most companies, I mean, their process is it's multi-step, right? I mean, it's maybe 2 or 3 or more interviews. So I look at that. I used to cringe when there were so many steps, where now with this, like, okay, I've got, where could I insert this in to increase my odds of making it to the next round of the interview? So after the phone interview, or after the first Zoom interview that you would have with someone, to have that follow-up. And again, everything else applies. I mean, sometimes it's just showing up. That gets
it's all about engagement. All about engagement.
You're showing them that you're interested. You're interested enough to go through the effort of making the video. It doesn't have to be a Hollywood production. It can just be, hey, thank you so much for your time. I'm very interested in the position. Again, you know, the work that I did at XYZ company, I think sets me up well for being successful within your team going forward. Something like that, like a little bit of a story, like have them see you where you were before, and how that's gonna, to them, it's gonna be a low risk decision on bringing you into their team that absolutely, they're gonna be able to hit the ground running in this team.
And then lastly, is the signature block. If you're searching for a job right now, include a link in the signature block and retitle it or rename it "Hire Me." And
I like that one, Kyle.
Yeah, hire me.
I like
and
that.
Click on that link, and you have your elevator right there. What you're passionate about, why you're looking, and move on. So it's it should, like I said, we've already said it, but it should be 30 seconds to a minute, and that gives you an avenue for engagement, more engagement.
And this may seem like a really minor point, but what you just said, and Megan talked about it before too, renaming the link. You know, if you're going to embed this little link in, again, this is, I guess this is pretty specific to Loom.
No, it's with all the Chrome extensions, it's the same.
Renaming that link, you just right click on the, you don't highlight it. I made that mistake. I was in panic mode for about 30 minutes, and I'm like, Megan, what am I doing wrong? so you don't highlight the link. You just like right click on top of the link, and then edit the hyperlink and call it something. And that's where, again, you show some creativity in what you title the link. And I think you're going to drive greater viewership, if you will.
Visibility. Yeah.
And I will mention, whether it's Loom or any of the other sites, they do have show you who actually clicked on your links, so you know who's looking at them versus who's
There's an
not.
analytics piece to it.
Yep.
So Megan, if I've got my Loom video embedded in my LinkedIn profile and somebody views it, would I be able to see? Got it.
Yep. You don't always get a notification from Loom. I don't know if you do from any of the other ones, but if you just, Loom is so easy to access from that Chrome extension, you can quickly get to your analytics and see who viewed it. And you know what, another thing I forgot to mention, actually, Kyle, you said it yesterday, when you're going to the, if you want to try to circumvent HR and actually find the hiring manager or somebody who actually is going to be a decision maker, use that link and send an in message or an in mail. What's it called?
In mail, or even if you don't have in mail and you just send a connection request, you can include that link in your.
Yep. And
should hire me. Or
then,
if you're not the hiring authority, forward this on to somebody, that'd be great.
Yep. And you have a better chance of actually just even getting them to answer the connection itself just by adding a little bit of a message. So what's the harm in adding the link too?
Great. Anything else on the where and the when before we keep going?
Plugging right along.
Okay. I read this and I thought this was pertinent, and they call it the 3 C's: control, creativity, and cutting edge. And we've kind of talked about all of these things already in the last 30, 40 minutes. But if you think about this, as a candidate, you have these 3 C's here. You have the control, like how, I don't know, I've been doing this forever. I've probably placed over 1,000 people into jobs through my career. So how many times I've heard someone that like, oh my goodness, that job was my job. I can do that job. And they just had a tough interview. And it was because some of the interview questions were either, just so based on like maybe remembering some syntax about some technology or whatever. But I mean, goodness gracious, the person had the aptitude and the ability to really do well in the role. So think about this with using video. You have some control as you get into this and seek out a position. You could talk about it without, you could position your experience without having, a syntax based question thrown at you and trying to trick you up or whatever, where you could relay your experience rather than being, maybe blindsided by a tricky question. And then creativity with a little bit of foresight, you could, okay, I'm going to apply for, let's say I'm a Scrum Master. You could have a background, you could find a background for your video of something, stressing like velocity, the importance of velocity and being iterative. So again, just, you gotta like think, it's okay to be a little bit creative and take a risk with some of that. And again, and the last one is this cutting edge. I think right now this wave is coming. It's still pretty early, but it's definitely coming. If you're to use this now, I think you're going to set yourself apart. People are going to be like, wow, they did a video. That's kind of cool. And if you do it well, practice, do like Kyle did. Don't worry if it's 10 or 11 takes. They're only going to see your 11th one, the one that you did the best. So. Anyways, those were, I liked this. It made me think like, okay, I can get into the seat of, a job applicant and really, okay, yeah, I have more control than I think I do.
John, can I mention something there? So I think the control piece is very big. Obviously, when you're searching for a job or you're in the market right now, a lot of people feel like they have no control. They don't know where to turn. They're not getting any response. This definitely helps with that. Being able to embed a video and open up yourself and become more human in this process is going to give you a chance to answer some questions, to show that you are a team player. You're definitely willing to invest and to take the time to get to know their environment. I just think it really is a game changer. I think it is going to become the way of the future, just kind of like LinkedIn was a decade ago. So doing it now is extremely important.
If I piggyback up on what you just said, Kyle, I agree. I think that if you are creating a video and kind of answering the questions of why, it's almost like a first interview.
Yep.
And so you've just pole vaulted over everybody else because you've already had your first interview in some respect.
Yeah, and on that note, we had a couple comments, questions about content. I mean, obviously, if you have 30, 40 seconds, you're not going through your whole resume, right? But what are some things you would recommend people hit on, right? Like a quick introduction of who you are, where you are, what your expertise is. What else, guys? I mean,
What you're
30
passionate
seconds.
about.
What
are you passionate about? What value can you add?
Mm-hmm. And I think the more creative you are with the words that you use, team player, individual, contributor, that's boring. Okay, be creative with the actual words that you use.
And I think too, you don't want to get so niche specific in your introduction of yourself that you actually cause you to opt yourself out of an opportunity because you were too specific. So you kind of want to leave the net pretty wide. If you're a Java developer, You don't need to get into the weeds on it, but just like a quick summary of who you are, what you're passionate about, the type of opportunity you're looking for, the type of company you're interested in.
Unless
You know.
unless you're going after that specific decision maker, if you see a job out there and you're going after a specific decision maker, then maybe speak to the top 3 required. Say, I have this, this, and this.
Yeah.
This is. Then you get specific. But if it's just your basic elevator pitch, generalized pitch, that's different.
Yeah. And I think we're talking about the elevator pitch being the link that's on your resume.
Yep.
Right.
Very good. Okay. We've been keeping up with our chat pretty well, I think, through. Let's see, my chat's blinking here to see if there's one last one on. I think it's already been answered. Yeah, I think we've hit all of those. So
I just got a question privately. Sorry, Vince, calling you out. Talking about would LinkedIn's built-in video messaging be a better option in that specific scenario? I did not know that they have a video messaging option. Kyle, did you know that?
You can do video. I don't know how good it is, and I don't know if you can track behind the scenes on if somebody viewed it, what the analytics are behind it. I'd have to check more into that.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna, I'm
But
done.
with Loom,
I'm gonna check.
there is an analytics piece to
Yeah.
it, to where you can see who's opened it, how much engagement there is. The good thing about knowing if somebody's opened it can tell you whether to follow up again or not.
yeah, very
True.
true.
Obviously, you want to continue to follow up if you're really interested in an organization or a specific opportunity. But if somebody has opened your content and has actually watched it, probably a good sign that you should probably follow up.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Hey, as we begin to kind of wrap up here, I'm going to put you guys on the spot. Sorry, we didn't rehearse this. So if you, I don't know, when I attend a seminar, a webinar, workshop like this, I always view it, I view it as a successful investment of time if there's something, even if it's just one thing that I take away from the workshop and what I'm gonna maybe implement right away, or just a thought, like, is there something that we covered today, or maybe that we haven't gotten to yet, that you'd want people to walk away with today from this?
Are you asking us?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just thought about this. Sorry. I just thought about this because it was something we brought up yesterday, and we've brought up multiple times. We've got some really good success stories regarding video. One specific success story actually happened in Kyle's office, where this candidate, I think that they told her she was overqualified and they decided to pass. Well, she didn't buy it, and she put together a 45-second, and I think this one was Boom Boom or Bomb, whatever it's called, Bomb video, and she got the job. She just went that little extra step to say, no, I'm not overqualified, and here's the reason why, and here's the reason why I want to work for you.
Yeah, she detailed that she was looking to get back into an individual contributor role. Just detailed her passion about the opportunity, about the team, about the company, the environment, and put her over the top.
Mm-hmm. And I think one last thing that I wanted to mention, and now a bit, is Matrix is actually using this on your behalf as well.
Yes.
If you are looking for an opportunity and you are utilizing Matrix as your source and working with a recruiter, we are using this video to verbally sell you as well, as so are the account executives. So it's not just a one-sided thing. Now we feel like within the market that we're in, it's just all of a sudden just completely shifted, that it's something that candidates need to be doing, not just Matrix needs to be doing.
Let me mention something on top of that real quick before we wrap up. So even before this pandemic started, guys, our recruiters were using video to speak with candidates all the time. Employers are becoming smarter, and they're becoming more risk averse. There's been a lot of bait and switch out there with especially technical candidates who've said, send a resume in and said they can do the job that they're saying, but really when it comes down to it, they get get to an interview, they don't have the skills, they can't do the job. Sometimes it's even a different person. So now employers are sometimes requiring us or asking us to do another step in our due diligence process to get people on video, Skype, FaceTime, all of that, Zoom, to be able to make sure it's the person that we're actually speaking with. So it's going to become more of a factor in the marketplace. It's like JB said, it's a tidal wave that's coming. It's not going anywhere.
Elizabeth,
Yeah, and I think, yeah, I mean, I think this is not a paid advertisement for Loom. We it may seem that way, but it's not. We have invested a lot of time and energy in playing around with researching different easy to use, inexpensive, portable solutions for video. So far, Loom seems to check all the boxes for us. Somebody mentioned BombBomb. I'm familiar with probably 5 or 6 other very similar ones, but Loom seems to be the easiest. So Megan, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add there, but
yeah, I'll go ahead and in the follow-up documentation, I will include some of the a list of the other extensions as well as desktop apps that you can use. And then just don't forget you've got your phone. If you are not afraid of video, then just record your face. I mean, just record yourself. You don't need Loom for that. But if you want to be able to talk to a document, Loom is great to overlay on Chrome.
Okay, I'm kind of nervous about this. I hope we did a good job for you guys today. I just launched this question. Well, you have someone moving to Hollywood. Look at this. I feel so good.
With me.
Thanks for your participation, everyone. And I guess numbers don't lie. So this is good. It seems like people are feeling a little bit better about doing this. Maybe you're going to be more likely to use it. Again, we will send out. I'll send out a follow-up packet of this recording, some how-tos on installing Loom and how best to use it and everything. So,
JV, can I mention something real quick before everybody jumps off?
Absolutely.
All of us are in different markets. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Engage with us. Even though I'm in Dallas and manage a team here, I know pretty much everybody within our company across the U.S. So if you're in a different market, I can point you in the right direction to a representative in your specific market, or at least close to your market. So connect with us. If you have any other questions, certainly reach out. Always willing to help.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are here. It's been a great, again, this has been our third one of these sessions. And I think we've touched about 250 people from the resume, the LinkedIn workshop, and now the video workshop. So it's been a great exercise for us, and really been enjoyable working with the community. And again, we are here to help. Just kind of second what Kyle just said, please reach out, connect with us, and we're in this together, that's for sure. So, well, thank you. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll try to get this follow-up out to everyone in the next couple days.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.
thanks,
Have a great day.
JB.
Thanks, JB.
Thanks, guys.